into it.
Yeah. Like I was playing like a puzzle game. And all of a sudden I started hitting buttons and I see you two fucking goose.
Game over.
Yeah. And I'm like, wait a minute. I think it's time to do a show.
Oh, shit.
What a week this was.
Yeah. I haven't talked to either one of you since, so I wanted to ask you before we record this. What were you guys' thoughts on that Jackass match at WrestleMania?
Honestly, since I don't have a note on it, probably not much.
I didn't watch it, so I don't know.
Yeah, you didn't even watch it. I will.
I was entertained by it for what it was. I know Cornette fucking hated it, but I knew that was going to happen.
Did Cornette already do a review on it?
Yeah.
He did?
Yep. And he pretty much said anybody that liked this in any remote way is a fucking moron. Was pretty much his stance on it.
Oh, he didn't do the classic for the kind of people that like this kind of stuff. This
No.
Stuff these people like.
He shit upon that much worse than that.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what was offensive about it.
I didn't find much offensive about it at all. It was what do I want to say? Nothing in it came off to me like any different than goofy hardcore shit from the Attitude Era. You know, I mean, yeah, it was a little more outlandish, but it was essentially the same thing: garbage cans and bowling balls, and I mean, we saw that shit in 1999.
Well, I mean, I think maybe. Do you think maybe the more of the shit is because of the way Johnny Knoxville looked?
Probably. He did look fucking ridiculous.
This is not 1983. You're not Andy Kaufman. Like, you're totally trying to fucking recreate, capture lightning in a bottle. Like you're Andy Kaufman and you're Johnny Knoxville. It would have been a whole different story had it been Wee Man. I would have loved it to be Wee Man. that to me had way more entertainment value than it being Johnny Knoxville. Let us throw around a midget for a little while. That screams entertainment.
All right. Anything else before we start? Anybody got anything else before we start?
Oh, I don't know, man. I mean, that Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah, I didn't see the match, but I saw the pictures. Jesus Christ,
dude, that guy bled buckets, dude. I mean, you're talking to me, right?
Yeah.
I mean, was kind of concerned.
That's what I was going to say. From watching it, do you think that the amount of blood was unexpected?
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, if you ask me, I bet you he probably have never gigged before.
Yeah, because like I said, I saw just seeing a couple of pictures of it, like the one picture from the one angle, you could tell the blood had some fucking momentum coming out of his dome for sure.
Dude, it got pretty bad. And I couldn't believe, well, I mean, it got bad to the point where at one point you can see that a doctor was in the camera angle. Like sitting like by the commentator's table. Like he was kneeling down by them, like watching them. Because I go, look, he's got the blue gloves on. He's kneeling down. He's trying to be out of the camera angle, but come on, he looks like Mark Madden. I mean, he's not exactly not going to be in the camera angle. You know what I mean? And I'm like, here's a doctor. Like they're worried about this guy. This guy's bleeding fucking buckets. and I'm yelling like, I fucking love this. This is like Puerto Rico. Like I haven't seen blood like this since Invader. Like this is like the greatest thing in the world to me. St. Louis '83, Brody and Race. Get out of here. Give me more of this. And this poor guy. I swear. I mean, I really hope Tony fucking took care of him.
Mm-hmm.
I sincerely do. I really do. Because that poor guy, if he's not over at the end of this, right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I keep putting the phone to my ear like I'm talking to you guys on the phone. Yeah, if he doesn't get over by the end of this, then there's just no chance.
Nothing you can do for him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's better off going to 205 Live. I mean, that's where he's gonna live forever. Because that to me cemented his fucking legacy of like, holy shit, dude. You fucking you were out there and you just died. You basically died. I really haven't seen that much blood in a really long, like that long of a time. Mm-hmm. And you guys that didn't see it?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, good God. Go out of your way. Just, I mean, you can watch. There's got to be YouTube clips, right?
Yeah, yeah. Or I can go on my site that I go on to pirate and watch it anyway. So I'll just check it out on there. But yeah, like I said, I saw the pictures and I was like, Jesus H.
Dude, that guy was brutal. It was I think the only person in not even recent memory, I'll go back to what, 99, 2000, was Muda.
Mm-hmm.
That Muda New Japan match.
Yeah.
Like when his whole entire face was just red, and his body was red, and everything. I'm like, that's what that reminded me of, and I thought that was the worst blade job I'd ever seen. I mean, I've seen some like worst blade jobs, but in different ways.
Yeah,
but not like in that way. That fucking guy, I'm like, yeah. Tony better fucking grabbed him when he walked behind the curtain and was like, thank fucking you.
Here's a bonus, and let's get you a transfusion. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, yeah, I mean.
And Wheeler's only request was not from Jake.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is there anybody in the locker room you don't want blood from? Like, nobody's seen Raven, have they? I don't need blood from him, Jake. Looking around the locker room. How about you give me some blood from one of the varsity blondes?
Hannibal's not here, is he?
or that stupid little midget girl, Layla Hirsch.
Hannibal. Remember that time? Remember that time you bled?
What, Tommy Dreamer?
No, Hannibal.
That sounds like Tommy Dreamer too. Remember the time you bled? Fucking stinks on ice.
All right.
Yeah, that was some shit, man. And the Briscoes and the fucking FTR?
Oh yeah, I went out of my way to watch that match.
Fuck yeah, dude. I woke, I mean, I didn't order the show, so I waited until the show was over, and then I got up in the middle of the night and I watched it on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, dude, this is exactly what I wanted. This is exactly what I wanted to see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they couldn't have promised, guaranteed, delivered, offered me anything more than that.
Nope. Best tag match in 20 years.
Oh,
if not more.
Yeah. Oh, easily 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you would have to go back to, I don't know, Midnights probably.
Yeah, Rock and Roll at Midnight.
No, I don't even know about maybe the Southern Boys. Like, I mean, let's be honest. Give him a little bit of credit. We're not going to go back to the Rock and Roll Express versus Coco Beware and Novell Austin. I mean, we're not going to go that far back.
It doesn't have to be so far back. Boyd Pierce called it, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Or three of the four guys, including the ref, are dead. We ain't got to go that far back. His name's Southwest. By the way, man, do you guys ever use Pluto?
Yes.
Do you watch Southwest on there?
I have watched it on there before.
Dude, I fucking love this shit. I think I have. I probably do have. I guess if I had to guess, 75% of Southwest TV, including at the end of Southwest when it became the Texas All-Star company. But dude, I still go on Pluto and I'll watch it every day. You're like, dude, this is so fucking bad. And how immature am I that I still laugh every time Stu Stack says El Santo Negro? I still giggle.
I got this compilation disc set thing. It's the best of the 80s, and it's got Southwest, and it's hosted by some fucking Hambone and Ox Baker. That's who's hosting this thing.
Oh, I have a couple of them.
Yeah. Well, this guy's talking about
Hambone and Ox Baker. Holy shit. That's really saying a lot about the other guy.
But they're talking about Tugboat, Fred Otterman, you know? And they're talking about Tugboat. Tugboat's about to be in this match, and he's wrestling as like the Terminator. And this guy's talking to Ox Baker about Tugboat. And he's like, what do you think about Tugboat? And he's like, Tugboat was great. He was a big man wrestler, and he wound up there for Vince, and unfortunately died early. And too bad that he died so young of such a bad disease.
He said too bad.
Corrected him. Like Ox Baker thinks they're talking about Earthquake.
Oh, good Lord.
He's got Fred Otterman in the ground. He's like, oh, he died early. It's tragic. And this dude's like, yep. All right.
No fucking fact checkers on that team.
Yeah, no shit.
Hey, Tugboat's still alive.
Oh, dude, I mean, I honestly think Southwest was, I think, the first wrestling company that maybe not the first wrestling company that I ever seen, but it was the first ever wrestling company that caught my attention. Because you know, if my family were big wrestling fans, and we always went to the arena monthly for all the shows, right?
Right.
But it doesn't necessarily mean that I gave a shit. You know what I mean? And then one day I'm upstairs with my stepbrother, and he kind of grabs me, I kind of walk in, and he has like a 13-inch color TV in his room, and there's was it Tully Blanchard shoving Eric Embry's bloody head into the camera, and I was just like, oh yeah. Oh, this kind of shit's for me. I need more of this shit, and that's where it started for me. But I had already been a fan, but I had never seen anything but the monthly WWE shows at the bar. Right. You know what I mean?
Right. So the Southwest was the first one that captured your imagination, really.
Yeah, that in fucking Georgia. Like, we had this little fucking channel. We had this channel in Baltimore, WNUV. I have we must have found it when it first came out. like literally first came out, because it only had programming for 12 hours a day. Like, and then it became Super TV. Remember that shit?
Super TV. I don't remember that. No.
It was kind of like they would only show like Sharky's Machine, like like on a 12-hour loop for some reason. It would be like a pay service. You pay for it, and then you have to like hook up this thing to your TV. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm old enough to remember this. You would have to hook up something to your TV where you had to like turn it on. And it was basically like the internet before way before the internet. And then you got like all these stupid, like goofy channels that had all these. Oh, they had Sharky's Machine. That's pretty much what it had on it. Like, I mean,
whatever they could get the rights to, right?
Yeah, and one of them movies where the dude his daughter gets raped. He's like a detective or whatever. I can't remember the name of the movie, but he had like 5 of them, and every single movie his daughter gets raped, and then he goes out and tries to find the killer or whatever. Like, how about you have some ugly daughters?
Or watch them.
Keep track of them, Christ.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus, like I can't. What was that fucking Death Wish?
Okay, yeah.
Bronson.
Is that what it was? Charles Bronson?
I think so.
Oh, and people were all scared of him.
The guy with the mustache.
It's Charles Bronson.
He had a mustache and a bowl cut.
People were scared. People were scared of Charles Bronson. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, I'm leaving this all in. This is the show. We've been doing the show for 15 minutes because this is good stuff. The show we're reviewing for the show this week for Reliving the Extreme
is not good stuff.
Is not good stuff. And it is the July the 26th, 1994 episode of ECW. But before that, I want to thank a couple of our listeners for actually sending in questions this week. One specifically for Chad, a gentleman named Bill. Bill wants to know, having worked for both, did you prefer Paul Heyman or Jim Cornette?
Oh, that's a good one. I'm probably gonna have to say Paul, only because I didn't work for Cornette enough.
Okay.
I would have loved to have stuck around. I don't know why. I mean, granted, if you look at my tenure in Smoky Mountain, it was kind of around the end of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not the end of it, but it was the twilight.
Right. Yeah. It's headed there. It's headed to.
Yeah. I mean, so there really wasn't a whole lot of work, or it was scattered, and that to me, I didn't care, but. Yeah, I guess I would say I liked Paul because Paul was close, but Cornette was easier to deal with.
Right. Yeah.
Like as far as talent,
Yeah, you're not going to call Cornette's house to get an answer on something. He's going to be like, "This is Mama Cornette. I don't know where Jimmy is."
Yeah, you're not gonna get the mystery house guest. Yeah, that goes hello. And then you go, Paul? I go, no. Like, yeah, it is. No, this is not Paul Yee. Dangerously. Like, yeah, Paul. Like, can you give me dates? What
you
dates
have a very distinctive voice. Did you realize that?
Yeah, I mean, it's not it wasn't like Maddie was answering the phone.
The next question comes from Gary, and it is, I assume it's for all of us because it doesn't have a specific name addressed on it, but essentially the gist of it, it's kind of a tough read, but essentially the gist of it is, does ECW grow into what it was without Terry Funk working so hard there and putting his endorsement on it?
I already answered that question. Yeah. No, you ain't got to say another word. No, if it wasn't for Terry Funk, ECW would have never have gotten a chance.
Mm-hmm.
How about that? Does that make any sense?
Oh yeah, I
never
totally agree.
graduated out of Cabrini. They would have
What's
never.
that?
They would have never graduated from Cabrini.
No. He would have never gotten out of Cabrini College. But yeah, Terry Funk. That he took that company that was on Life Sport, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And they went from running like them stupid fucking. Oh, I'm sorry. We can cuss, right?
Oh fuck yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they went from running them stupid fucking stupid bars, them sports bars,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was Terry that had the idea of if I'll commit, and then
Right.
then you have that. Now you have your credibility, right? Now you
Yes.
have one of your Now you have one of your 4 pillars,
Mm-hmm.
and then who's going to be your other pillars? Okay, well, then we got what right around now we get Sandman.
Sabu
and Shane.
Okay, Sabu, and then eventually you get Dreamer, which I fucking don't. That's the worst. That's the foundation that's going to crumble. It's fucking anything it's got to do with Dreamer.
That's the part. That's the part of the foundation with the crack and the mildew and the.
Yeah, and it's awful, and nobody can figure out what to do with it.
Like,
It's the Dreamer Foundation.
Why do we build this house on dough?
I'm going to make a donation because it is taxes. Taxes are due. So when I pay my taxes, I'm going to say I'm making a donation to the Dreamer Foundation. Jesus, poor guy.
An impossible cause.
Yeah, he stinks. He's awful.
Oh shit! All right.
I have no idea. I have no idea why I don't like him. That's the worst part. Like he really never did anything to me. I just don't like him.
We all have those people at work. It's like I don't know why I don't like this guy, but I don't fucking like this guy.
I just don't like him.
I like the cut of your jib, buddy.
My jib?
Aaron's going back. Aaron's going back to 1927.
I know. I mean, what do you? I was just watching a bar rescue, and I was telling Jessica there was this big fat bald guy who was a bar owner. I go, look, that's the guy Archie Mitchell that I keep telling the guys that's what I think he looks like. Are one of you guys ever going to release a picture of this guy? Are you going to allow me to believe for the rest of my life
this is a Brooder film
that he's just a big fat bald guy that manages a bowling alley? Yeah. Is that how this is going to work? Is this going to unveil like a WrestleMania week next year? Or I'm gonna be standing in the ring, and they're gonna well, here he comes.
When we get to the end of ECW, the series finale, here's the picture.
He's gonna have the Chris Masters intro. I'm gonna be staring at the screen and going, "What the fuck? This is Archie Mitchell?"
I did not expect him to be so svelte.
Or the other way. Well, he's even fatter than I thought. And what's with the neck beard? I don't know.
Well, to start this episode,
let's hope he gets better. By the way,
yes, he is currently in hospital.
Archie is?
Yes, he is.
Oh well, I mean, he should have been there years ago. What took him so long? He couldn't get off work. What, the shoe store was busy. We didn't even talk about the week that I had. I mean, fuck the goddamn show. We could do a whole entire show in the week that I had.
By the way, there's this girl at work, and she kept sending money through the money center to this guy. Okay, and this is a true story. Who was having monetary problems, like he was having money issues. Okay, and guess who this guy was posing to be? This is no lie. And
Jose Luis Rivera.
No, Roman Reigns.
Oh, so she was catfished by Roman Reigns?
Yes. She was sending Roman Reigns money to the point where the people at the front were like, you gotta stop. Like, you're not allowed to do this anymore.
Don't you realize this man's the head of the table?
Like, no chance. No, there's no chance somebody stopped it.
Oh yeah, we like with at work.
Oh, were you there?
Yeah, it was in my store.
Oh, so you were president and you saw it?
Like, I didn't know it was like at first, because she was like doing all these transactions, and they were like, they finally questioned it because it's like every 2 days you're sending large chunks of money. Like, what are you doing? And she said it was because Roman Reigns needed money.
Get the fuck out of here. That's fucking awesome. and well, I mean, but how do you do that when you? I mean, so what is it like? Over the gram thing where you don't need
MoneyGram. Like, yeah, they just started. It was like the Nigerian prince scam or whatever. Like,
so you don't have to have it show an ID.
No, like she was sending money to these people, and they were saying like their address was Roman Reigns and all.
He needs money. I mean, I'm sure he's walking to the mailbox every day waiting for that WrestleMania paycheck, just so he can keep the lights on at his house. I mean, I'm sure he's doing okay.
It took everything for me to not just be like, A, start laughing my ass off, 2, to start making just fun of it.
Oh,
like, I heard John Cena needs help too, but he'll settle for a Snap card and a couple iTunes.
Yep.
Sorry to hear about your money trouble, Zeus. We start the episode of ECW. We start the episode of ECW we're discussing here with quotes from Terry Funk, George Napolitano, and some dude named Clark DeLeon. Quotes from them talking about how great ECW is. I think Napolitano's quote said he felt like he was witnessing something illegal.
Yeah, he loved it so much it felt like something illegal was going on.
You know what? I got to be honest. I've always got. I don't know George that well. I've met him a few times. I don't know him that well, but I've never gotten a good vibe from him. Like, really? I'm not even sure he's a pro wrestling fan. I almost feel like he's in it for a different reason.
So he's like just a magazine guy, not necessarily a wrestling guy.
I mean, I guess in a sense you can say that, but I mean, do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it just seems like he doesn't really give a shit because he spends more time just sitting around in the back. Like not really. He goes out and takes enough pictures of the matches, but he just spends more time in the back, like he's like a happy mark. Like, you know, I just want to be. I don't mind hanging, which I don't mind. I mean, because I go to shows all the time that I'm not booked at. And I hang out at, which I don't give a shit, but I'm like, yeah, you're like in your like late 60s. You know, just go home. What the fuck's the matter with you?
Creeping everybody out.
What's that?
So you're creeping everybody out.
Yeah, dude. You're like you're an old guy with a camera hanging around your neck. when everything's done digital now.
He's still got the old Casio.
You got the big lens. He's hitting this button and it keeps popping out even further and further. It's like the Revenge of the Nerds. When they're looking into the fucking Mega Moot, whatever it is, the Alpha Pi house. Don't we have a show to watch?
Yes. Well, this show.
I'd rather keep talking about my goddamn week.
We start with footage that we've already seen of 911 confronting Mr. Hughes. Then we get a promo from Paul E. putting over 911 as he starts hyping the August 13th, 94 show that's coming up at the ECW Arena. Pretty standard here. Not really anything to write home about.
No, just recap 911, Mr. Hughes. Yep. My video with 911.
He does say Angel's a pseudo porn star and then calls her a bitch.
Oh, ooh.
He says, so maybe you need to think about not getting involved in our match. Bitch. He just, bitch.
Well, matter of fact about it.
That's some saucy shit to say on Sports Channel Philadelphia. That's a big market.
The first match that we get on the show is Taz versus the Tasmaniac, whatever, versus Hack Myers. They kind of do a walk and brawl here. Taz wins with a belly to back. Any notes on this match, guys?
I liked it.
Yeah, it did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Joey called Taz a creature. He said, this guy's a creature.
Yes, he did.
I can sit here half a day and tell you that I'm not a big fan of Hack Myers. We were friends. We were not friends. We had our disagreements and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I would never deny him his credibility of how good of a worker he was. I thought he was so good that he never really got the chance that he deserved.
Mm-hmm. He for his size, he moves really well. He never looks sloppy.
Nope. He wasn't in shape, but he wasn't an oddity either.
Right.
Yeah, and I always liked Hack, and I wanted Hack to fucking succeed. Probably more than I wanted to see me succeed. Because I heard the people getting behind Hack at the beginning, and I was like, dude, this guy's going to be a star. And you know what his dumbass did? He fucking moved to Florida. I mean, he moved to fucking Florida. Like, he's getting a push.
Right.
He's in line to get a push. And he's starting to get a push. And then all of a sudden he up and moves to Florida.
Was there ever a reason given for that? Did he ever tell you why he did that?
No, it was probably economics and his family probably moved to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So he probably went with the
right. Follow the herd.
Yeah, it was what it was. And ECW in Florida, we all know how that went. What was it? I went down there and worked, and what was it? 4 weekends, and that was done.
That was 96, right?
Yeah, but I went to all them shows, and I wasn't used once.
Jesus Christ.
I was staying in Knoxville, and then I stayed at my friend's house in Mobile, and then I drove to Florida, and I went to all them shows, and I'm waiting. I'm looking at the lineup. I'm not. There's a battle royal. I'm not even in it.
What the fuck?
I'm like, what do you mean, Paul Loria? And they probably flew him in because he's friends with Mikey. I'm like, they didn't even use me.
At least, I mean, I guess they figured he could just ride up in the luggage overhead compartment.
Paul Loria.
Yeah.
Mikey carried him in his fucking carry all.
Yeah, guys. Pops out the bag.
Jesus, what are we gonna do a show about Ozark Mountain? Because at least I had some good times there. This ECW stuff is killing me.
Reliving the Zark. That's what we're gonna call it.
ECW was literally. I have to be the only person to say it was the worst time of my life. I've never seen anything so unorganized. It was so unorganized that it was like chaotic. You know,
there's time. I was going to say there are times where you read stuff or hear interviews or whatever about it, and you think to yourself, I don't even know how this thing survived as long as it did. You know?
Oh, it had to be on. I mean, my guess it had to be a credit. Todd's credit.
The Heyman hustle.
Well, that's what they call it, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know how it survived either, man. I've told this story on this show probably multiple times. I've heard numerous stories of people that had their checks bounce or whatever. I've never had one bounce. Never. And granted, I wasn't Sabu, right?
Right. That's why Lance Storm left, wasn't it, Aaron? Isn't that the story he told? That
No, he left for a different reason, but he said that when he signed, I don't know how true it is. It's whatever. But he said when he signed, he knew that like guys would tell him, you know, like Paul bounce checks on you and shit like that. So he told Paul that he'd had a 3 strikes and he's out clause. That if you bounce a check on me 3 times, like I'm done, I can leave. Doesn't matter what agreement we have. And he bounced 2 and then another one bounced. So he called him and he was like, it's 3 strikes and you're out, buddy. You bounced a check on me 3 times. And Paulie was like, no. Gave him the money. And then his check never bounced again. On purpose. He was just giving him bad checks on purpose, even though he had money laying around. And then when Lance caught him on his shit because Lance was able to go, like he was like, I could go somewhere else. These other guys, some of these guys didn't have anywhere else to go. So they were just letting it happen. But Lance was like, I could go back to Japan, you know?
Right. You can do
and Paulie, and he called Paulie on his shit and all that. He said, after that, he's like every week.
It's like clockwork.
I mean, like the only guy to not make $1 million in ECW is Tommy Dreamer. I mean, you know, all things considering, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who should have been the highest paid guy in ECW? Should it have been Shane? Should it have been Raven?
Raven, Sabu, or Terry Funk?
Or should it have been Dreamer?
Should have been the most loyal guy you got in your locker room.
The most loyal?
Well, I mean, to that company, like he was probably the most loyal guy.
But Dreamer?
Yeah.
I mean, and believe me, I don't like him. I think he's a fucking idiot. And I'm like, yeah, why the fuck did you stick around? You know, because even after, you know, when you started seeing guys like me fall off, you know, I'm on the low end, right? Just on the grand scheme of things. Right. I'm on the lower end of the payroll kind of thing. And then you see guys like me fall off, like not show up anymore. The Keith and Kyle Shearers, who are the same people. You know, people like that. Then you're like, we're not coming up anymore,
right?
Because you're not fucking paying you're not paying us. And then you want us to like, pay for our own trans to Florida?
Except Paul Loria, what the fuck?
the giant killer. What? Because he beat 911?
Well, speaking of Dreamer, more recap championship wrestling here. We recap what we saw last week, and they showed the whole fucking thing. But anyway, we recap Dreamer and Sandman from last week with a Sandman woman promo following that, and then a promo from Tommy Dreamer on being NWA Rookie of the Year, being trained by the Funks, and wanting to get revenge on Sandman and Woman from last week. I don't have any other notes on this because, like I said, we just essentially watched what we watched last week.
Well, who do you think was more offended? Johnny Rods? Because wasn't he the guy that trained Tommy Dreamer?
Yes, he was.
Yeah. Do you think Johnny Rods is sitting at home somewhere, like watching WWE on Peacock, his old matches where he gets beat by Tony Gurria with a sunset flip? And he's like, "What do you mean? Like, I trained you to be the best of the worst." and that's what he
either that or in 93 and 94 he was like, "Hey Tommy, can you do me a favor?" And he's like, yeah what? He goes, can you tell everybody the Funks trained you, please? I don't want to that.
This Johnny Rods guy, what, Barry Miguel Cicluna? He was too busy to train you? So you had to go with Johnny Rods? Didn't Frankie Williams have a wrestling school?
In Columbus, Ohio.
Yes. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. I'm not afraid of nobody. That's my favorite angle of all time.
Frankie Williams being from Columbus, Ohio.
No, yeah, that Piper's Pit.
That's
wonderful. That's my favorite angle of all time.
Piper's like, "Oh, you're from a Columbus, Ohio."
Yeah, but he totally fucks up what Frankie says because he says, "I'm from Columbus, Ohio. I'm not afraid of nobody." And he says, "You're not afraid of nobody." And then he goes, "I got no room for nobody." And Piper's like, "What?" He botches it and says whatever he thinks that he said because he couldn't understand what Frankie Williams said. Because what did he say? "I got no room for nobody." Is that what he said?
Yeah, I got no room for nobody.
What the fuck is that?
What does that even mean?
Yeah. I got no room for nobody. You got no room for nobody. Dude.
I got all of these people in my house in Columbus, Ohio.
That to me, that is my favorite angle.
I got the Mama Williams, the Daddy Williams, Grandma Williams. They're all here.
I bet you. I probably YouTube searched that. If I went on my TV right now and put on YouTube and I go to search, it would be in that little thing on the left hand side of most search things. It would be a Frankie Williams Piper's Pit. Because it's so great when he starts beating him up, and then Vince is like, "Ow!" And then what does Pat Patterson says? "Oh, brother."
Oh, brother.
Yeah. Dude, he starts clobbering him, and he's just like, and then what a lot of people don't know was they had a match the next week.
Mm-hmm.
On TV, like they advertised it for the next. I don't know what you guys got in your area, your market, but yeah, we got it where it was advertised that next week it was going to be Piper against Frank Williams. That was
still All-Star Wrestling, wasn't it? At that point,
I want to say, yeah, it was definitely the end.
And probably the intro and outro was Thriller for Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah, it was definitely that era. Totally. But for them, the promo of the match that next week was going to be Roddy Piper against Frank Williams. I remember when my stepbrother watching it on that little tiny TV going, "You're fucking kidding me." And then Piper beat the tar off of him. He beat him up like it was the Wheeler Yuta. Dude, he did. And then it's like, what did you expect? I mean, it wasn't like we had, like, me and my brother were probably 13, 14, somewhere in that, probably around there.
Mm-hmm.
And we're watching the TV going, there's no chance Frankie Williams gonna do anything against Roddy Piper. He's gonna get murdered out there, and because he's from Columbus, Ohio.
Sure enough,
he should be delivering pizzas. Didn't we have a show to watch?
The next match on this show that we watched.
That's the name of the show this week, by the way. Didn't we have a show to watch?
Don't we have a show to watch? The next thing here on this show that we did watch is The Bad Breed against Donnie Allen and Joel Hartgood.
Didn't you skip over a whole bunch of stuff?
No. I didn't.
According to my notes, I mean, I must have wasted my time. Because I got a whole bunch of stuff here that I don't remember us even talking about. Sandman kills everyone. More recap. Sandman promo. Now Bad Breed squash.
Yes. And Joey is talking during the match about the Bad Breed versus the Public Enemy having violent matches around the horn, essentially. And the Bad Breed wins this match with a Doomsday device. Again, not a lot to report. It just happened.
Yeah.
Did you see the sign?
No.
What's the sign?
The crowd said, the sign in the crowd said, Donnie Allen, is he a man or a midget?
I did not see that.
So what is there a Facebook poll or something? Like, is it still active? Because I'm up in the air. I might have to sleep on this.
I was like, they're implying a midget isn't human.
I love Donnie, man. I can't. I mean, I can make fun of him because I make fun of everybody that I love. But yeah, I mean, Donnie was like me, man. You know,
Mm-hmm.
He was just hanging around to see what he was going to do. Just whatever it is, you know. Maybe you'll get something, maybe you won't.
And he always takes great bumps for the guys, and he always sells good. And he's a perfect job guy.
He was,
and that's a compliment. That's a high compliment.
Oh no! Me and Donnie, we took we kind of we bonded over that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're considered a job guy, like we were, we weren't contracted or we weren't making big money. We were show to show basis, and they may use us, they may not use us, but me and Donnie always hung out together.
Mm-hmm.
Not we didn't go out after the shows, but we always dressed together because we knew our roles.
Right.
I wasn't gonna walk over and unpack my suitcase next to Sabu. Can you move over a little bit? Can you give me some space, Boo?
Could you get your baggy pants out of my way?
Yeah, I mean, hey Shane, enough with all this fucking the hanging stuff. Get all his clothes out of here. I'm trying to dress here. But me and Donnie would always had this little corner, this little jobber corner. Later on, Gino Gabardi, whatever his name was, Gasendaloff, whatever. He would be literally it became a jobber's corner. Joe Hartgood became one of the jobbers guys. We really could have had a reality show.
I was about to say, imagine back then if you guys would have had the a YouTube show or something.
Yeah, it's the jobbers corner. This is where we all hang out, and they wait for somebody to yell your name, and they point at the guy that's going to beat you up. You're sitting there and go, Chad. You get up and you go, yeah. And you go, him.
Camera zooms in on 911.
Yeah, it's and then you absolutely have no reason to go over and ask him what the match is going to be. All right, I'll go out there and what do you want me to do? Do I say anything or do I just stand there? Oh yeah, you can just stand there. And he's just gonna come out and all right, well, whatever. Let's just hope this check doesn't bounce.
Yeah. After the Bad Breed match, we are going to, and I have a question here. Do they mention it? And I missed it, but what is the location for this match that they show the highlights from? It is Jason, Chad, and Rockin' Rebel versus Hack Myers, Dino Sendoff, and Donnie Allen. There's like a Studio 54 ring apron there, and
it's not a ring apron; it's the canvas.
The canvas. That's what I meant. The canvas. And what do you? Is this just a club somewhere, Chad? Obviously, it's not Studio 54.
I have no idea. It wasn't the arena.
No.
Well, you know where that canvas came from?
No.
Right?
Oh, the Wolfman.
Well, I honestly think that well, you remember, back in the day.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Oh. I mean, no, the canvas on this match is a Studio 54 canvas. And if you remember, when Bam Bam Bigelow debuted, had his first match, Paulie booked it, and he booked it at Studio 54. And it was when he gave like Ric Flair the Man of the Year thing and everything. So I think he just had a canvas from that time, and they fucking used it.
That honestly, that never caught my eye at all.
Like I think you worked on the canvas that Bam Bam Bigelow debuted on.
Well, lucky me.
Yeah.
I mean, I also worked on the canvas that Tony Stetson sweated on. Tommy Cairo bled on. I mean, thank God.
I'm just saying.
I mean, I have a bucket list and all, but that wasn't any of it.
So that, like I said, I guess you don't remember, Chad, where this, but it was definitely not the arena. It was like because it said Heat Wave Tour.
Heat Wave Tour. So that was 94, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. We did.
Probably that fruit stand they kept going.
Oh, I think that was Delaware.
Okay.
I think it was Delaware because I remember that was the first time Heat Wave 94. It was Jersey. It was on the boardwalk. Was at the arena was me and Mikey,
mm-hmm.
And then the next night was at the boardwalk in Atlantic City was me and Mikey, and the next night was I think the show you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, after me and Mikey had our first match, then we had our second match, which I thought was way better than our first match. And I have no idea unless they taped them back in the day, which I don't think they did. But I really liked me and Mikey's second match, the one we had in Atlantic City.
If they recorded that, I can't find it because when a couple of weeks ago, when we talked about your first match and you said that the second match was better, I searched for it and I couldn't find it. So I don't know if anybody has it out there, if they recorded it or not. I assumed they recorded everything, but I guess they didn't.
No, they didn't. Because there was a time when fucking everybody was fucking having their periods. Mm-hmm. Feinberg and fucking Paul were up in arms about, just bullshit.
Right.
So there'll be like months or stretches of time where he wouldn't do shit and then he would come and do everything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you never knew. And the fact, what was worse is we had to buy the stuff. Like we had to buy the stuff. I would leave the show and I'd be like, hey, do you got the last month TV? Yeah, right here. How much? $20. I was on it. Like there's not another outlet I can go through to get the tape for nothing? Like just to see me?
And here's Jesse Ventura bitching he's not getting 8 cents every time somebody watches WrestleMania 3.
Yeah. I don't even get a mention on Twitter, which apparently is valuable these days. I didn't realize that shit.
I've never understood how that. I don't know how that works to help you monetize anything. Is the Twitter?
I don't know either, but it somehow
I just absolutely don't understand it.
But it somehow happens.
Well, during this 6-man, like I said, it is Jason teaming up with Chad Austin and the Rockin' Rebel against Hack Myers, Dino Sendoff, and Donnie Allen.
Fuck yeah.
They're talking about Hackomania running wild during the match. And then
Love Hack.
The Rockin' Rebel uses a foreign object. Jason gets the pinfall. Did he pin Donnie, I believe? And he is really gloating about his win, and it's great because Joey Styles says he got his first win in 8.5 years. Congratulations, Jason.
I love Hack. I thought Hack did. I thought this is like when Hack really started to get it.
Mm.
Because we got him in. We got Hack in. And then we kind of like, we all went our separate ways. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he stuck around. You know, I said, fuck this. I'm leaving. I'm going to fucking Smoky Mountain. I'm going to Memphis.
Anywhere but here, right?
Yeah, I'm just leaving this shit. But he stuck around and he got what he deserved. And he would have been a bigger star had he got paid.
Mm-hmm.
If Paul would have paid him, I bet you he would have stayed till the show was over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, he didn't. And then we lost him, and I don't even know how he died.
I honestly don't either. To be honest with you,
I don't think it was a drug overdose because we were friends, and I never knew of anything about that.
But it seems like something like that would have stuck out in your mind if you know what I mean. If that was the circumstances.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to look. We have to get Archie Mitchell. To get on that. What's the matter with him?
Get his expertise. Let's see. On November, let me see.
He had brain surgery.
Archie Mitchell?
No.
Hack had brain surgery. Hack had brain surgery and died from complications of said surgery.
Well, he had brain surgery. Isn't that kind of like one of the circumstances, like going in, like this could possibly happen?
Yeah,
you got one or two options. It's gonna work or not.
Or it's not. It's a pity.
I mean, did you look that up? Is that Aaron?
Yeah.
He died of complications from brain surgery. How hard is that?
It's not brain surgery.
No,
it kind of is.
Yeah, dude. Get the fuck out of here.
He was only 42 years old.
Maybe they ought to stop working on brains. Good Lord.
He died, and the lady was like, "What happened?" He's like, and brain surgeon was like, "Back off, lady. I'm not a rocket scientist."
but I play one on TV.
Apparently, a hack was doing surgery on Hack.
Yeah. I'm not a doctor, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express. Holy shit. I know, I can't believe that. I thought, I knew Hack didn't die of drugs. I mean, because he was a friend of mine. I just knew that wasn't it, but I didn't know it was something that bullshitty.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's just so random, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I call bullshitty.
The next segment of the show, I was a terrible host because I fast forwarded through it. I couldn't stand it from the beginning. So this whole Public Enemy thing, once it started, they're doing their promo. The music was too loud.
Oh my God!
The overdub was too loud. It was essentially just a recap of everything they've done since the beginning of fucking time, and I didn't watch it. I'm sorry, bad
Dude,
host.
seriously, how loud was that fucking?
It was annoying. God damn it! Get me out of here.
The only thing I put is why were they sitting so close together in those tiny shorts? Like Rocco was almost sitting on Johnny's lap, and they were just wearing tiny shorts.
I don't know what they were doing.
He was Rocco the puppet.
Yeah, it was almost like he jumped in his arms.
I was like, "What is going on?"
But yeah, so if you guys pulled anything from this other than Aaron's obvious observation, I didn't even bother watching it.
Johnny was like, "Hey Rocco, come sit on my lap. We'll talk about whatever pops up." Like,
yeah, great.
Oh, Johnny.
A Public Enemy, man. At this point, I don't know. I don't know what to say about them because aren't they supposed to be like headed towards being like one of the greatest tag teams in the world?
Supposed to be.
Isn't that right?
Mm-hmm. They're also they're also like somehow, some way, I'm supposed to be scared of them, and they look like a couple of fucking clowns. That's all I'm saying. They look and act like a couple of fucking clowns. They're not intimidating.
I would just love to take my time machine and go back to, what is it, 1994, and find two grown men that are dressed like that, like walking around the streets, like pretending to be badasses. Like, look at you guys. Don't you have a softball game to go to? Like, what's the matter with you? What are you doing? Oh, Johnny.
Who wears short shorts?
Oh, Johnny, the game ain't till tomorrow. And they're standing in the middle of a field in the middle of the night. Oh, you did it again? Yeah. Because you're both fucking boobs. You don't know, how the fuck does the people believe in you? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
How are they building them to be like? I get it that they're going to be the face of the company, like the martyrs, the Tommy Dreamers of the world. You know what I mean?
Right.
But they're fucking idiots.
Well, after this debacle with the Public Enemy, we get our main event for the show. It is the Pitbulls teaming up with Superfly Jimmy Snuka.
I'm sure I'll watch this.
Against Terry and Dory Funk and Tommy Dreamer, with Jason and Hunter Q Robbins on the outside. The match was fine. It was what it was. It wasn't anything great. It wasn't terrible. Any notes here before we talk about the finish? I saw Aaron shaking his head no.
I don't know.
It's just the fact that this is the first match Jimmy Snuka had in ECW where he looked like he was actually trying to do something.
Jimmy Snuka?
Yeah.
Oh, his rent must have been due. Because I think I can't even read my goddamn handwriting. And I think I wrote, this show gets worse as I watch it.
I think he was trying to do something because he was in there with Dory and Terry, and knew if he didn't, maybe one of them might be two guys that can,
Dude, I don't know about you, man, but I mean, don't you get a little excited when you see Dory Funk?
No.
I mean, like, not that because he's still alive. You don't even get like a little excited?
If I saw Dory, I would stay as still as possible because I wouldn't want to give him a heart attack.
you wouldn't excite him?
I wouldn't want to startle him.
Like, you wouldn't take a Polaroid?
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ! I'm gonna flash to. Oh my God!
He'd fall down. Oh, come on!
When you see a Dory Funk out, and when you see a lemon-headed Funk out in the wild, like a deer. It's like a deer. You're like, kids, shh, look, don't startle it.
There's Terry in the locker room slapping him with a towel, like waking him up. He's like, they're playing Desperado. He's just slapping him with a towel. And Lemonhead Funk's got to wake up.
Yeah. But yeah, if you see him out in the wild, you just observe, you know.
Yeah, but it'll still fuck you up.
I know.
That's the worst part about it. Like, you know, you run into him at a Golden Corral and you take his sausage link, the one he was trying to grab, and then you look at him like, shut the fuck up, old man. And then you realize,
all of a sudden you're in a chokehold.
It's Dory Funk.
All of a sudden you're in a headlock. Like he just keeps putting me in a headlock.
But it's not by him, it's by Oshamo Nishimura. or one of his stooges that's probably getting the sausage links for him. Like, I don't think Dory Funk does anything by himself. It must take 4 people to get him to his car that he's not even going to drive to the store.
It's like I said, weekend at Bernie's.
Dude, that we had to figure out a way to. We had to get Archie Mitchell on this. I'll figure out a way to make a movie, a weekend at Dory's, but he's still alive. That's the gimmick. Everybody thinks he's dead, but he's not. So in order to prove it, we got to take him around and do all this stuff. He's still alive.
And by the end of the movie, it's proven that Lemon-Headed Funk is funny, is smarter than everybody because he's just acting dead, so people do shit for him.
Yeah, he ain't got to do nothing.
Yeah, he's like, I ain't wiped my own ass since '89.
I haven't worked out since 1984, and my best matches were against Rufus R. Jones. And he goes, I don't know shit. And people just do. Yeah, I'd be a lackey for Dory Funk. Would you? Poor guy. I mean, he's not the kind of guy you want to take to the Applebee's and get stories about wrestling business. He's not going to know shit. He's going to remember what he got like at the grocery store. Or my wife told me I had to cut the grass. Like, no, I want to hear about Amarillo.
Armadillo?
He's going to think you're talking about a drink.
What about an armadillo? What do you...
What?
I'll take an Amarillo sour.
Yeah. Is that what you're talking about? Dude, it's incredible. I don't know how that guy is. I don't know. I'm not convinced he's still alive. It's going to take a lot.
The end of this matchup results in the Pitbulls accidentally clotheslining at Jimmy Snuka and Tommy Dreamer getting the pin on Snuka. After the match, I don't want to curse us by saying maybe this is finally the last of Hunter. But Hunter Q. Robbins berates Jimmy Snuka, hits him with his cane. Snuka beats him up, building that they've been building this lackluster thing for weeks, where Snuka finally cans Hunter Q as his manager. And the Pitbulls attack Snuka, and Taz comes to make the save. So then we get Taz and Jimmy Snuka standing face-to-face in the ring. I think they're trying to build this as like a passing of the torch kind of thing from Snuka to Tasmaniac.
Oh, yeah. I mean, do you think?
Cocaine's in the dashboard, brother.
What do you think? Snuka's 45?
Easily.
Right?
Actually,
being generous. And Taz is probably 30?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe? 28, 30? Yeah, and Paul saw that as clearly a viable way to like, to get rid of the old, get in with the new, without making the old look bad.
Yeah, just looking it up, Snuka was born in 43. So at this point, he is 51 years old.
I don't believe any of that. I mean 53, but I don't know what the first two numbers were. It could have been 1853. That motherfucker, I don't even know. He don't know where the fuck he's at.
He looks exhumed.
I think he has a better memory now than he did then. And he's not even alive, right?
They don't have medical files in the cliffs of Fiji.
Isn't he dead?
Yeah.
Yeah. He probably remembers more now than he did when he was alive. He's just laying there going, "Oh, brother." And then eventually it'll get to me. "Oh, Chad Austin. Brother. I pin you with a suplex." That's great.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Highlight of Chad Austin's career. All right. That's why I can't sell a best of. Is that the last match on the show?
It is. The last thing that I have a note of here is Shane Douglas cuts a promo on 911, and thank you, Mr. Hughes, for ending the show by mentioning The Undertaker.
Yeah, 20 seconds in, Lex Luger, Lawrence Taylor, and The Undertaker.
Dude, like, what if you worked like a whole bunch of other people? Like just say he did shit with like Bob Costas, Howard Cosell.
Howard Cosell.
Just imagine the list if he had the opportunity to run down the list of all the guys that he did.
Richard Dawson.
Regis Philbin. Let me tell you something, Joe. Geraldo. You don't know who you're dealing
Charles
with.
Nelson Riley.
Morton Daddy. Yolanda Watts. You don't know who you're messing with. Oh, holy shit. You have many talk shows. Montel? Do you know who you're messing with? Oh, Ricky Lake?
Don't bring up them DNA tests, Marapovich.
I am not the father.
Oh my God, there's so many of them. I'm not even going to get into the Jerry Springer thing because I've already been on the show 4 times.
I done told you, Marapovich, the big cat ain't got no kittens.
That's right. Let's see if it's yours. No, it's got to be Lex Lucas.
It's the Undertaker's.
That is blatantly a white cat.
Dude, get the fuck out of here.
That is a light-furred cat.
Yeah. Somebody better call Ernie fucking Ladd. that ain't the big cat.
That is Ernie Ladd's kitten.
Look, I ain't the only black guy that's 6'9". Somebody better call Ernie Ladd over here.
Let me tell you something, Mr. Television Announcer. That ain't my baby. That ain't my baby.
That is not my baby kitten.
That is not my baby. On national TV, he walks out there and says, "That is not my baby." A wrestling show,
and I picture him in his. I picture Ernie in his tassel vest.
Yeah. Mr. Television Announcer, let me tell you, that's not my baby. That's the fucking funniest thing I've heard all fucking day. Mr. Television Announcer, because I can just see how he looks all stern when he looks into the camera, and he's, "Let me tell you something, Mr. Television Announcer. That is not my baby." And then Boyd Pierce it's a fresh attire. Has to like sell it like, well, there you go, wrestling fans. Ernie Ladd says it's not his kid,
not his baby.
I mean, what are we gonna do? I guess tune in next week to Bill Watts.
It's a cliffhanger.
Oh my God.
Enough about that fucking baby. Bill's like, nah, enough about that fucking baby. Let's talk about the oil crisis here.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, dude, how fucking fast can Bill Watts do that shit? Doesn't he do that? Why did he do that?
He loves to transition from pro wrestling to politics as quickly as he possibly can.
I mean, do you think that's what it is?
Because it was all about the oil crisis and the commies for Bill Watts.
Dude, I know. Why? I mean, now we're getting into a really good subject. Like, why do you think he does that?
I think Bill Watts has, and this is, I've never met the man. I don't know the man. This is just watching Bill Watts. But I think that Bill Watts has this attitude that he's always the smartest man in the room.
Oh, he's always had that attitude.
Even if he's not.
Well, well, in my opinion, he's always been the smartest man in the room. I mean, I would put Bill Watts above probably Cornette as far as one of the best bookers of all time.
And I mean, honestly, he taught Cornette a lot. You know, a lot of what Jim is from working
Bill
for
Watts. How to build. It wasn't so much. How do you say this? It wasn't so much how to build like a show. It was how to build to a show.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make any sense?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because he would start something in April, and he wouldn't bring it to the people until June, or late May.
Mm-hmm.
He would like, yeah. It was something special about how it was like, oh my God, it was like he was a guy that could put together a puzzle, but it was one piece at a time. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why I always thought, and you guys can disagree with me if you think I'm wrong. I always thought that it was a big missed opportunity in '95 when he worked with Vince and then left. And the reason I say that he left so quickly is because I think Vince McMahon's greatest talent is knowing how to build or what a card should be. What should be the main event? What should be, he can build a card, and then Bill Watts is great at building to said card. So if they would have been able to get along in '95, imagine what they could have done together.
Yeah, but I mean, the proverbial saying is Ray Charles could have saw that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
There was no chance because Vince had 10, maybe 10 years down the line. Just say 10 years down the line, and Bill Watts had 20 years down the line. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Like, look at what he did for WCW when he came back. What was that, 92 or whatever
92.
it was?
Yep.
And he stripped it down. And he brought back Tony Atlas. Like, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden now you see Chick Donovan again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, he's going back to what got them there. But was it too little too late?
I think so. And I think, honestly, he was Bill Watts in 92 in a corporate an environment as Turner was a bull in a china shop anyway.
Yeah, even with Titan. I mean,
yeah, true.
and Titan wasn't even like that corporate like Turner. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They still had protocol because they were a corporation. You couldn't I mean, wasn't he accused of being racist and shit?
Yes.
I was in WCW.
Mm-hmm.
He said that basically what he said is like they were talking about business and how you should be able to do what you want in business, and said like if how do you say it? Like basically said, if I have a restaurant and I don't want to sell, and I own the restaurant, it's mine, and I don't want to sell fried chicken to black people, I shouldn't have to sell fried chicken to black people.
But that's not what he said. Please tell me that's not what he said.
Yeah.
It is what he said. Yes.
That's what he said?
Somebody showed it to Hank Aaron.
And Hank Aaron said, I don't like that.
Oh, see, now who's being racist? Like, all of a sudden, or Nate turns into Ernie Ladd. Let me tell you something, Daddy. My mommy, my grandma, we was brought up with some grits and oats.
This is the only podcast in podcast land that can go take a paternity test of illegitimate kittens between Ernie Ladd and Mr. Hughes and turn it into a discussion about the downfall of Bill Watts.
Well, we're getting to the bottom of this. And it's too bad we're nearing the end of the show. Like, this is an onion. we got to pierce them. Come on. Next week it's going to be a whole episode about Bill Watts.
And we're supposed to be talking about ECW.
Yes. Well, wasn't he somehow involved in ECW?
Well, his son worked there.
Well, okay. Well, there we go. It's still about ECW. What, wasn't he going to buy it or something? No, that was what's his name? Crockett.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was going to buy it.
Yeah, him and Paulie did that pro wrestling. It wasn't Pro Wrestling USA, was it? That they did in 90.
No, that was Vincent. That was like Vincent Verne, like Vincent NWA or.
Yeah, I don't remember but there was a thing with Heyman was working with Jim Crockett.
Oh no, that was the World Wrestling Network.
Yes, that's what it was. Yeah,
that shit sucked. It sucked so bad that they only had one taping. Like, they had one TV taping, and it was all the same matches that were at the ECW arena, but it was in a different building.
And I'm sure when you consider the personalities involved, I don't see those guys meshing anyway at all.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was a classic case of, I don't think anybody in the locker room, I want to say by this point, I was relatively gone.
Mm.
I was making sporadic appearances because they were running more and more up in New York and like Massachusetts, and I wasn't doing them trips.
Right.
And like, not for that money, I wasn't doing that shit. And I had branched out, but it was just like, everybody knew they weren't going to get along. There was no way. How was that going to work?
That's like oil and vinegar.
Yeah, because Crockett is willing to spend X amount of money, and Paulie's telling him, well, I need this amount of money if we want to do this, because we have to bring in these people, but it's the same people he's bringing in.
Right.
He's just trying to get Jim to pay him more. Like, now Sabu's like $2,000 instead of like $500. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because this guy's got money.
Mm-hmm. And Jim Crockett been in the business long enough to realize, or to know that he's not a money mark, or when somebody's trying to use him as a money mark, I guess you'd say.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're only gonna sit there and write checks out so long before you realize there's nothing coming in,
mm-hmm.
and then you just go like, well, this ain't working. I mean, even I can do fucking that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if I'm only working I don't even know what I work. I think I work like 12 hours a week, according to Jess. See, like, when do you work? I go, I don't know. And then she looks at my bank statement and says, well, I can tell you don't work that much. But yeah, you Yeah, you should know when you're gonna work. And they make good money.
Yeah.
I want to say it couldn't have been bad money, right?
I wouldn't think so.
Like even on the low end of like what were we talking about? 1994?
94.
94 money. So would $300 a night be good money?
Depends on how much you have to travel, I guess. You know, how much you have to, how far are you going away from home?
Yeah. I mean, there was times where I'd pack in a car with what's his name? Danny Doring.
Mm-hmm.
And like Dino Sendeloff and maybe somebody else. And we'd meet somewhere, like, because they lived in Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'd meet somewhere and we all get in them. Probably either I like driving because I don't want to be in somebody's car that I don't trust. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wind up somewhere you don't want to be, doing shit you don't want to do.
Or I don't know if he's fucked up or you know what I mean?
Right.
Like I'll be in control of this car because I know I'm gonna get there. Yeah, that kind of shit. And then we just split trans and hotel was like $75 a night, and you're only supposed to put 2 people in the hotel room, and you got 4.
Right.
So you end up spending $25, you know what I mean, a person or whatever. Yeah. ACW was something else, man. I mean,
and week after week, we will continue to discuss it. We're going to put a wrap here, put a bow on this episode of Reliving the Extreme, which ironically, even though the show we watched wasn't great, this might be the longest episode of the show yet, which is why I love it. Aaron,
it's probably one of the best ones.
Yes, probably. We didn't even hardly talk about ECW. Aaron,
Fuck
any
ECW.
parting words for
fucking shit stinks. Wait till RVD gets there. And then we'll have something to talk about. How about this? Wait until Hack Myers leaves. Then maybe we'll get something good because it's right around when Hack Myers leaves. Is when ECW starts getting good. Because I'm not going to lie, I already cheated. I already watched ahead.
Aaron?
What?
Parting words?
Just thanks for listening, and hopefully by next week we get the results of the paternity test of those kittens.
Shut the fuck up with the kittens. Stupid. Enough already. You really want to know? I'm really concerned about these fucking kittens.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And join us next week again as we continue reliving the extreme. Have a great week, everybody.
Tally ho.